Welcome to Biomutant. Out of Date says the time has come for you to reconcile with your past. Lupa-Lupin is still staying in the camp where he was brought up. He hopes you'll find the answers you are looking for there. Even though darkness is a part of your nature, he suggests you try to keep your cool, as the best fighter is never angry. He'll point you in the right direction, but the rest is up to you. This part of the journey is one you'll have to do on your own. Lupa-Lupin's camp has always been there, hidden deep inside the mountains. Out of Date hopes you'll find your way and the answers you were looking for once you're there. He knows he said it before, but the time has come to put an end to the Lupin's reign of terror. You should get over there, come face to face with destiny. It's going to be you against the Lupin. No rules. He's happy to help. Understands you have other places you need to go. You're onto something. An artist's blade. At least the temp's nice and steady underground. Lupa-Lupin's camp has always been there, hidden deep inside the mountains. Time to ride. Tread carefully here. This is Lupa-Lupin's camp. Lupa-Lupin says he's been looking for this moment. He wanted you to come here and see for yourself where it all started. He was so little when your mother and kin came here to put an end to his mother just because she was different, a hunter. That night, the hunter became the hunted, trapped with nowhere to run. He says your mother showed no mercy, only vengeance. He can see that you're not like your mother. There's something different about you. Maybe you would have made a better decision than she did, and let them be. They orphaned him, left him alone, an outcast and a freak. Lupa-Lupin says he's been reliving the moment every night since then. He says your mother and her disciples started something that couldn't be undone. They created the monster he would become. Just so. He knew his time would come, and he was patient. So, when he got news about your birth, he knew how to get revenge that would last. That's why he spared you that night he raised the village when you were a child. He wanted you to suffer for life, like he had. Just so. He marked you for life, so he'd recognize you when you met again, and you'd eventually remember where you came from. No. His hunger grew insatiable over the years to come. He tried, but being vegetarian wasn't in his nature, and he couldn't go hungry. But he's never taken a life for the sake of appetite. It's always been about survival, and that our true self is being who we are. A deep look into nature will make you understand everything better, and that natural selection eliminates, and the strongest survive. Fate is for those too weak to determine their own destiny, and now the time has come for you to accept yours.
Bullseye.
You're low on health. Feeling better. Now that's medicine. Ooh. Great shot. You've already drained yourself. Crack-a-doodle. A moon could make this a hunter's night. Out of Date says that from what he's heard, you've been busy. He says he appreciates what you've done so far, but unfortunate urgent news from his friend Noko in the east. Out of Date says that even though he's unsure about your intentions, he hopes you'll support Noko. He says he'll point you in the right direction, but finding Noko and making sure she gets what she needs up to you. That doesn't sound good. Out of Date was spot on. The hoof puff needs to be stopped. Out of Date says that Noko is worried now that the Eastern World Eater is stepping up its activity. He explains that Noko keeps a fabled steed that she has planned to ride out to the World Eater, but needs help to get it prepared. Out of Date suggests that you should head east as fast as possible and see what you can do to help. He's happy to help. He says you really need to go see Noko as soon as possible. He guesses you're back for more. Didn't have much else to say, so no problem. Nothing between you and your foes in the mountains. If you close your eyes hard enough to reality, your mind opens to let memories in. That's one way to remember what's forgotten. When it intrudes on the mind, it is a natural reaction to want to block it out or just change it. However, there's no doubt that what you remember makes your future different. So, you remembered the automaton's power-up feature. That's a boost. Don't be feary. It probably won't bite. That place there's a real fixer-upper, not an entirely lost cause. Metal scrap. Great for making tough things. That's a Terra Globus from the back. You need to swivel the globus's bearings to get the atlas mapper to work. Just a few moves left. Make them count. You need to swivel the globus's bearings. You need to swivel the globus's bearings. There are things out there waiting for you. This place is called Bright. Mito lives close by. Take this seriously, or it'll... Let's see. With the world getting darker by the day, there's not much time left to save it. And even though you've just met, he feels you're bound to play a huge part in that. Claims to be a simple lamp maker, bringing light into the world as best he can. You found your way through the darkness. You shine like the sun in the sky, but will you use that power to warm the world or burn it? Hopes you see how much good you can do with power like that, and how easy it is to let it drive you mad. No matter where your path takes you, though, it's important to remember where you came from. The past bright lights the present. Wonders if you know how much of an effect you've had upon the world. Your presence changes things like light changes darkness. Did you realize that when choosing where to shine? Says he can see that in the way you brighten everything up. So happy you know you're helping brighten the world. There's plenty of it that's still worth saving. Whatever happened to the world, you shone as bright as you could. That matters more than you know. Says you did the right thing in taking up with the Myriad. They buy lots of his lamps. That's a tribe that believes in the bright things in the world. It's clear it's as bright as being right. Says he can see by the twinkle in your eyes that you're not here to talk about your allies. He assumes you are here to be enlightened. He can't blame you, as everything just feels dark and hopeless these days. There's something about you, like you're knit together. Your fate's connected. What you've said, he feels too. So, why not call him Me Too? He senses you're like the dayfly, living every day like it's your last, afraid that when night comes, it might be proved right. Believes no one is entirely dark. Even the worst have a spark of good in them. Mito says there's darkness in everyone's life, but as a lamp maker, he wants you to know there's light too. His goal in this dying world is to be like a flame fly, burning to light the way for others, and therefore he still makes lamps. You look like you're in need of a special get-through-the-night lamp, but to make something like that, he'd need a flame fly. Says that's the kind of attitude that spreads light everywhere.
Come toward the light.
Slow down. Why would you rush in?
When you see what you want, why wait?
Well, what about being careful?
Pah! Poppycock! Full speed ahead!
This thing needs new bounce orbers. This area is blazing hot. You'd better have something that'll keep you cool if you're going in. Blisterboo, known for its perfect temperature and atmosphere. It's all about destiny. Yours, mine, the entire world's. The light you see at night is brighter than you think. Gross. This place stinks. Ah, the Gnote pen. Noko never leaves this place. She's always put the living things first. Let's see. The air is dry here. Nooks isn't an easy language, but at least it's manageable. She says she is so happy to see you again. She wonders if you remember her. She's Noko. She let you ride her Majut when you were a kid.
Andro?
Noko remembers you used to chase around with so much energy and is glad to see you haven't lost any of that spark. But that's all long gone now, though. Memories show us where we've been, not where we're going.
Andro? Amu.
Is sure they'll come back on their own once you stop forcing them. Hopefully not to haunt you, though. You've suffered enough already. Noko remembers those days too, but she never lets herself wallow in them, no matter how tempting that can be. She sees you're back to buck with Lupa-Lupin. Can't see how there's any way to avoid that now. Not for long, at least.
Chialdo male canodo, monibasa.
She says the horrors of your younger days were enough to ruin anyone, but not you. You've got all that cheer about you still.
Asana yotpa, pendrine senema.
Noko says history is like the trail you've been on. You can walk back down it any time you like, until it's worn smooth. But you get to blaze your own trail from here.
Asana yotpa.
Then you are stronger than her. She can't help wanting Lupa-Lupin to pay for what he did to her Gnotes, despite the fact it's against her nature.
Run, Dark, run!
It's not a race.
You only say that because you're losing.
Doesn't mean I'm wrong.
No, there are lots of other reasons you're wrong.
Kala, minalagi mamuru.
Asks how many paths you've wandered in the world, and if you ever wonder about what might have changed if you'd taken different ones.
Vaseno kasaman waru.
You can't do everything you want, can't go everywhere, can't see everything, only what you can.
Chialdo male canodo, naro lute.
So happy the world is going to live, would have been crushed to see all the Gnotes die with it.
Kanamunt inadabsunka.
Likes that you stood up for the world and spurred your way toward helping it out.
Pialtuma.
Glad you saw the light with the myriad. They always bring a sparkliness to any day, and sometimes the nights too.
Naro lute.
Says that's only for a little while, and when your eyes clear, you see everything even better than before.
Andro?
But let's not speak of that now.
Urasa dulut. Rizentede. Kanamunta.
She has an idea where the Majut might have gone, as there's no other place it likes as much as its own corner of the open wild. She's even named it the Majut Meadow.
Pala, boilakudo. Minalagi mamuru.
The Majut will recognize the scent you've attracted while being here, so it'll probably trust you enough to follow you.
Sana yode.
You should lead the Majut back here when you find it. It's going to take time to get it enough to be able to ride out to the World Eater.
Kuri kumbala muma.
It's the ever encountered, a creature straight out of a dream or story. Glad to see some wood scrap there. Is your mount paying attention? You found the Majut Meadow. Watch out for the Majut. Who could stand against that? Sizzler! Punch the ticket. You're half dead. Individual attention. Concussion. You're not dead yet. Blasting him. Not enough key energy. Finally, a bit of glow. Now that the Majut is back in the pen, it seems calm, but Noko is still concerned. She says the Majut is still anxious, but fortunately she knows just the thing it needs to calm down. The Majut once found and ate a bonbon gummy by mistake, and that the chewing really calmed it down. She says that you should find some bonbon gummies for the Majut by the crossway. At least, that's where she found some last time. She figures the choosies from the old world are made from gummy trees, but wouldn't be surprised if they were actually made from some chemical concoction, though.
Andro?
A crossway. This means you have a choice to make. Which way? This beast can move. Well, what do you know? Want to get your arms swole? Grab those guns, Fleck. It's time for an adventure, for good or bad. Got to time it right to make them work. Left, right, left, right. Pumping good, looking better. Keep to the straight and narrow. Smoothing. That's a moat. How many days like this do you think the world has left? Cranks like these usually need to be wound to operate the dispenser. Just a few moves left. Make them count. What you see is what you get. Once it's out of the blind box, that is. You shouldn't flick the switches in order to greenlight the current and activate the electrons in the panel. Just a few moves left. Make them count. That clicked. You need to switch up the flick pattern. You need to flick the switches in order to process power through the panel. Good. The loop is electrified enough to spark. Always good to have some wood scrap like that on hand. A story has got to keep moving forward. With its attention diverted to the chewy bonbon gummy, the Majut calms down. But Noko is still concerned. She's relieved the Majut has come. Need a heavier sit-tight to ride it than the one she's got. The only sit-tight she can think of that would be heavy enough is one she's spotted mounted on an old-world mecha Majut. If she remembers correctly, she spotted it at the Smilo Shopperia while scavenging for treats for the Gnotes. That's not so far away. It's a seat you fasten on the back of a mount to safeten up your ride. It can become quite bumpy and risky without. When you're walking in the mountains. This place looks like a real monster magnet. Yeah. The future is in your hands, so take care of it. A smilo shopperia. Yes, shopping here put a smile on your face. That hurt 'em. Nice shot. Baked. That's going to leave a mark. You're not dead yet. Eye boxes like this are few and far between. However, that's no great loss. Just a few moves left. Make them count. It's true that the eye box is a medium. It's rarely. The antenna needs to be pointed in the right direction. As the eye box broadcasts, it's hit or miss, but when it does hit, it's usually right in the feels. Not opening for you. Locked up tight. There's a lot more space down here than you would think. You need to line up the switches so they match. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. Now hold on, sit tight. Isn't that the Mechamajut over there? At least the temp's nice and steady underground. You need to loosen the bolts without rattling the Mechamajut. Just a few moves left. Make them count. That's it. The sit-tight is loose. Time to stop horsing around and get the sit-tight back to Nocco. Yuck! That there's a sludge gush field where the company used to suck sludge from the underground. Now it's all over. You get used to the beastly smell, I hear. You finally found the village of Bumlidoff. This thing has a mind of its own.
Pial tu ma kamonu. Taifanamenuma.
Now that the Majut's got a mouthful of bonbon gummy and the brand new sit-tight is in place, the Majut is ready to ride.
Asil natu.
Nocco's been training another fantabulous little critter that'll hopefully become a distraction for the hoof puff when you confront it.
Kodotuku. Dropalo. Asana yotpa.
She's called them glitter moths, and the best way to find them is to go talk to Mito. She's asked him to keep them somewhere safe.
Monibasa.
You'll find Mito at bright light. He's a light-headed fellow, but hopefully he'll remember where he stored the moths.
Canyalanotoro.
They're small airborne creatures with bright reflective wings and a conspicuous fluttering flight.
Minalagi mamu.
Best part of this ride is it runs on green stuff. Mito says he's not only into those who shine bright, he likes things that glitter too. He reckons you haven't seen a glitter moth and says it's about time you did. Even though they're nesting near gone grass, they never run out of glow. Finding yourself a glitter moth would give you that glimmer of hope you need to continue all the way to the end. Glows with delight at your bright passion for the light. Heroes inspire in a way nothing else can. Stay on top and you'll be fine. You make this look simple. Don't care. Bullets everywhere. Chop, chop. It's starting to add up. That might come in handy. This story is as powerful as you'll let it be. Glittermoth Cave is right here. You can make something from that.
That's
That's enough glitter moths to make her plan work.
Kanamunt.
She wants you to stop worrying about the paths you've ridden and focus on the inevitable road ahead, the one that leads to confrontation with the World Eater. The hoof puff is evidence of the duality of evolution, utterly beautiful and grotesque at the same time. She means that the hoof puff has had more time to eat at the root as it's been isolated in the Knoopstonies mountains. So, based on that alone, she reckons it has suffered as much damage as the northwest root that's hidden beneath the surf. Everything in nature is dual, and so is evolution as it struggles to find balance in creation. She wonders what could be more beautiful than imperfection. Just don't trip when you're walking in the mountains. That sealed the fate of the third World Eater. Just one more to go. Out of Date asked to see you again to congratulate you and let you in on the final phases of his plan. This is your chance to get his priorities aligned with yours. Do right by your tribe and the world at large. Just head back to the Ark. He seemed eager to see you again.